Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namaha Pankajanaභaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangrehe Om Jnanatimamsya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome you all once again.
Hare Krishna.
Friday evening, and we'll discuss. We'll continue our discussion of Canto 11. So, if we have some time today, we'll try to discuss something about Akshaya as well. But let's see. So, Canto 11, we are actually on last chapter today, and we have been seeing how Lord Krishna is giving knowledge to Uddhavaji, and in fact, discussed many times, Sri Krishna wanted to give knowledge to all of us through his pure devotees. And at the end, in last chapter, we discussed about how Krishna advised everyone to go to the Pravas Kshetra, and there they did some sacrifice, and after that they drink, and by drinking that they became more intoxicated, and they started killing each other. They started fighting with each other, and at the end, Lord Krishna and Balram, they also took that cane, that from the dust, the club dust that become iron rod, and that all of them are well killed there. And then we discussed how Lord Balram meditated upon Lord's himself, and he went back to a abode. And then Krishna, he sat on a pipala tree and meditated. He was in a meditation pose in four chatur view, 400 form. And then this Jara named Hunter, he shoot an arrow to lotus feet of Krishna, thinking that it's a deer. So Krishna sat in a position of 1 feet on the other thighs, and that feet looks like a deer, and he shot. And then once Jara came to see, he could see Krishna's 400 form, and then he became bewildered. He became terrified. He asked forgiveness, and then Krishna told, "Don't worry, these are all because of my plan." And now, and then there's a Vaikuntha airplane. It came, and then Jara went to Vaikuntha over there. After that, to the spiritual world, and then after that, his chariot driver Daruka came searching to Krishna, and he found Krishna in sitting under a banyan tree, and there, and then Krishna instructed him that, okay, you go to Dwarika and tell everyone about the condition what is there, and however you should take shelter under Arjuna, and you should take my parents to there as well. And then Daruka went back to Dwarika, and we'll discuss here, continue here our. So last chapter, that is 31, the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna. This chapter describes how Lord Sri Krishna returned back to his own abode along with all the Yadus. So and then after this Jarad Hunter, he went back, and after this Daruka, he went back to Dwarika. Then Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva and many others devatas, they all arrived there. and they arrived there with in their own airplanes, and it was the sky was all crowded by many airplanes, and they offered flowers and garlands to Lord Krishna with devotion. And in front of all, Lord then entered his own abode. So everyone could see, they actually has been described that except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, no other could trace the path how Krishna went to his own abode. So as soon as Lord Krishna left the earth, what happens is been described here. The truth, religion, faithfulness, glory, and beauty, it also immediately followed Krishna. So in third chapter of Canto 1, it's been described that Krishna Swadhavanopagati Dharma Jnana Adivishah. So when Krishna went, these all things also went back with him. So all goes went to with Krishna and followed Krishna. And then there's a kettle drums resounded in the heaven, and the flowers being showered from the sky. And uh, except, as I said, except Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, no one could actually trace. There are so many, all Devi Devatas over there, crowded there. They came to welcome and glorify Lord Krishna. But when Krishna left to his abode, only Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, they could trace the path. They could know from where Krishna went, but no one else could trace the path. And however, all the Devatas, they praised the Lord's mystic power, and they all returned to their own planets. And Shudev Goswami glorifies again the Lord's activity. Very nicely, he said, Lord Krishna brought the son of his guru. We discussed the Sandipuni Muni's son. So Shudev Goswami says, the Lord Krishna brought the son of his guru back from the planet of the Lord of Death, or from Yamaraja, and in the same body. And as the ultimate giver of protection, he saved you. So Sukadeva Goswami addressing to Parikshit Maharaj that he saved you uh, uh, when you were burned by the Brahmastra of Ashwatthama in the womb of your mother. Right. And then Krishna says that he conquered in the battle even Lord Shiva, and who deals death at the agents of the death. So again, he also Lord Krishna also conquered Lord Shiva. We've seen this fight between that, and then he sent Lord Krishna. He sent this hunter Jara directly to Vaikuntha in the same human body. And how could such a personality be unable to protect his own self? So the point here is, many people sometimes they think, or they, without the proper knowledge, they think that Krishna died by the by the arrow shoot by this hunter Jara. So Krishna never dies. He has own Sachidananda Vigraha, always time same body and same Sachidananda full, right? And here Sudhir Goswami says that if it described very nicely by devotee as well, if Krishna can send the Jara, who was a hunter, who shoot arrow to his foot, he can be sent back to Vaikuntha, then how could not Krishna protect his own body? So that's a question again to the people who think that Krishna died. But the real fact is Krishna never died. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam yovam yoviti tattvatah devta deham punarjanma neti mametus Arjuna. So anyone who knows this transcendental appearance and disappearance of appearance and activities of Krishna, that is wonderful. And by living this body, we can go back to spiritual world. So that's how there's a misconception that Krishna died. Krishna never dies, right? And he's always Nava Yovanam. So he's always youth, 16 to 20 years. Prabhupada discussed many times in his classes that Krishna is always youthful, 16 years to 20 years in between that. And Falashruti is given that anyone who regularly rises early in the morning and carefully chants with devotion the glories of Lord Sri Krishna, transcendental disappearance. So how he went back to his abode. See, the point here described very nicely. We have just discussed that except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, no one could trace all the devatas. They are great powerful than us. Even they could not trace the path how Krishna went. Then who are we to judge that Krishna died or nothing, isn't it? So that's again, it's just foolishness, nothing else. And then Pulashruti says, I'll repeat, anyone who regularly rises early in the morning and carefully chants with devotion the glories of Lord Sri Krishna transcendental disappearance and his return to his own abode will certainly achieve that same supreme destination. So we can go back to the spiritual world. And then uh, after that, Daruka, so in meanwhile, Daruka reached to uh, Dwarka. Daruka, Krishna's chariot driver, he reached to Dwarka, and then he informed about the destruction of the dynasty, and feeling the overwhelming pain of separation from Krishna, everyone they struck their own faces, and they go there, they reach there, and then it will describe Mother Devaki and Rohini and Vasudeva. When they reached the Pravashetra, they could not find Krishna or Balram. They lost consciousness out of anguish, and his parents gave up their lives at the very spot. Means they gave up their this body and they went back to the spiritual world. And even the wives of Yadus, then they also they climbed on the funeral pyres over there, and Arjuna, he felt very great distress over the separation of Lord Krishna. And Arjuna then saw it that the funeral rites were properly carried out for the dead. So he was the one who taken care of every rites over there, the the duties of funeral things, and there was no male family member remained over there. So Arjuna took charge of that ceremonies, and he executed this required ceremony for each of the Yadus, and one after the another. And as soon as uh, Dwarka was abandoned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ocean flooded it from all the sides. As Krishna explained this to Daruka earlier, that you leave Dwarika because as soon as I go, this will be flooded by the ocean, and hence the same thing has happened. And Sukadeva Goswami says uh, that Lord Madhusudana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is eternally present in Dwarika. It is the most auspicious of all auspicious places, and merely remembering it destroys all contamination. So even you see, even the science they have some found out some places in Dwarika as well, isn't it? So it's still there. But however, that's like a material thing. But this Dwarika was talked here is Dwarika Dham. So as you see Vrindavan Dham is again the replica of the same Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world, because Krishna has came here, he's played the pastime. Right. So Sukadeva Goswami says that Krishna is eternally present in Dwarika, and Arjuna took the remaining people in the Yudh dynasty, the women, children, and the old men to Indraprastha, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, is comes in earlier canto as well. And the Yudhishthira Maharaj, after hearing this from Arjuna, they prepare for the departure, and that we have discussed in Canto 1 as well. And thus glorification comes again here, that a person who with faith engages in chanting the glories of these various pastimes and incarnation of Vishnu, the lords of the Lord, will gain liberation from all sin. So time and again, Srimad Bhagavatam says that glorification or the pastimes of Lord Hari actually takes away all our kind of anarthas, and it gives us the highest benediction.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, departure means Pandavas departing where?
Pandika departing from their own kingdom, and they gave the kingdom to Parshit Maharaj, and they start traveling through their own abode. So they went back to the spiritual world that we discussed in Canto 1. So because at the time Yudhishthira Maharaj was still ruling, so when once he heard about this that Krishna has left this world and he has went back to the abode, to spiritual world, and they were in much pain, and then they thought, no, what is the use of living here now? And then they gradually they also started going back. Okay. And then in one of the last verses, we nicely said that the all auspicious exploits of all attractive incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also the pastimes he performed as a child are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in other scriptures. Anyone who clearly chants this description of his pastimes will attain transcendental loving service unto Lord Krishna, who is the goal of all perfect sages. So that's how hearing about the Lord Krishna's pastime, glorifying these pastimes, hearing with faith and narrating these pastimes, that is basically the perfect or the real goal of our life, right? And that's how this chapter 31 ends here. And we have seen how uh, Krishna took all these who were basically, it's been described that in this Dwarika there were some the answers of the devatas who were actually had taken birth, and they are taking part in the pastime of Lord Hari. So, and some of there who are eternal associate of Krishna in Dwarika Dham, so from spiritual world. So all those who has came as an answer of devatas, only those were taken to this Pravashetra, and they fought, and they died over there, and they went back to their own spiritual, their own abode, heavenly planets. And those who were the Krishna eternal associate, they went back to Dwarika Dham. They didn't die over there, right? And there was a nice point explained that why did Krishna had a plan over this. But Krishna, because these Yadus, they started behaving whimsically because of the power they had achieved. And Acharya just explained this point that after Krishna has played his pastime, he wanted to go back to his spiritual world, to his own abode. Then these Yadu might be the due to the pain of separation from Krishna, they might destroy the whole earth, and that's why Krishna thought to take them, everyone with him only. And before, or in fact, he took everyone early before he left this world. And then this is also nicely explained by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Actually, he says that this is the one of the learning comes to us as the Vaishnava Aparad. The Samba and other boys, they went and they imitated before this great rishis. They tried to, actually they did offenses toward them. They tried to cheat or play with them. That's basically one kind of Vaishnava Aparad. And everyone should try to kind of try to be safe from doing this Vaishnava Aparad, to commit any offenses towards the Vaishnavas. So that's also a cost, and Krishna wanted to demonstrate that by doing Vaishnava Aparada, everything is destroyed. And also in many times being described that where the one external reason, maybe this uh, Mother Gandhari, she has cursed Krishna that all your dynasty will be destroyed. And the fourth point being described as intoxication. Intoxication is, anyway, it's bad for things, and that's how, being intoxicated, they all fought with each other, and they died, right? And they killed each other. So these are the few points which I collected from the devotees lectures, that the Vaishnava Prada, the Kṛṣṇa of Gandhari. I think Kṛṣṇa of Gandhari is well known, but the important here is in this context is Vaishnava Prada. And Yadu, they could destroy the whole earth because they were so powerful, and they could destroy this whole earth. And again, as they were associating with the Krishna, no one could actually make any harm to them. That's why they could have destroyed this whole earth, and they started behaving whimsically as well. So these are the things, and hence we, in a brief way, we have concluded Canto 11, and on Monday we'll start our Canto 12. Any question, any thought, before we go to discuss some bit on the Akshaya Tritiya? Today is very auspicious day. Okay, so that's okay then. Thank you. So we'll try to discuss a bit very important, just few things about this auspicious day. And this today is very, very auspicious day. It's called Akshaya Tritiya. And Akshaya Tritiya, I think Rishabh Prabhu already sent a message in our group that what are the auspicious events has happened in this in the day. So we'll just try to go a bit in a very, very nutshell way in some 15-20 minutes. And it's been described that in the whole calendar, uh, there are three very, very important tithi. So though we celebrate Janmashtami, Radhashtami, and others, but there are three very important tithis in the calendar that are those are comes as one is Bijya Dashmi, and one is Ugadi. I think Ugadi also called as Makar Sankranti, if I'm not wrong, and the third is Akshaya Tritiya. So these are the very, very important tithis in the calendar. So every tithi, they have some specific time to celebrate the event, the festival, right? So like Ramchandra, which is celebrated at noon, and Janmashtami at midnight. In the other way, right? No, and Lord Nrsimhadev Chaturdashi it at the evening. So, but these three, Vijayadashmi, Ugadi, and Akshaya can be celebrated across the whole day. So whole time is becomes auspicious for these three tithis, and today is one of that is Akshaya Tritiya. And there's a custom in India, to buy things like gold and silver and keep on this day, auspicious day. However, we'll see some important things as well. So the very first thing, it's not sequential, but again, one thing is that Lord Parshurama appeared on this day, and the incarnation of Lord Parshurama has happened in this, and we have discussed about Lord Parshurama in Canto 9. That also Lord Parshurama is Krishna's uh, Shaktavish avatar. So Shaktavish avatar is basically empowered with specific quality. So Parshurama was empowered with the power to destroy the Kshatriyas, right? That's was the power of Lord Parshurama. And we have discussed this past time how his father, Jamadagni, had 5 sons, and once he was doing a sacrifice, and his mother went to get some water, but she saw some celestial bodies over there, and she got delayed while coming with the water, and Jamadagni got to know it by his military power, and then he asked his sons, 4 sons, to kill his mother, their mother, but no one agreed. They said, we don't be doing this sinful activity of killing our mother. And then Jamadagni, he asked Parshurama to kill not only his mother but also the 4 brothers as well, because they didn't obey the order of father. And however, Parshurama was again very, very intelligent. He knew everything, the power of his father. So he killed uh, his mother as well as the 4 brothers. And as soon as he obeyed his father's instructions and killed others, and then Jamadagni, he became very pleased and asked him that, okay, you can ask any boon from me, any benediction from me. And then he says politely, my dear father, please bring back my mother and the 4 brothers first. And second, make sure that they don't remember that I've killed them. So that's how Parshurama obeyed, like saved his mother and brothers, as well as he obeyed his the instruction of his father in the both way, right? And also we have seen this past times of how the king Kartavirya Arjuna, who got 100 who got thousands of hands, and he once came to in the hermitage of Jamadagni, and he came with so many ministers, so many ministers and soldiers, and Jamadagni, actually he used to give all this, invite and other things to what do you say, to the king Kartavirya Arjuna. And then Jamadagni has a cow named Kamadhenu, and by that he could opulently, do all this arrangement for this king as well as his soldiers. And by seeing that Kartavirya Arjuna was become bewildered, he says, oh Rishi, oh Brahmana, what are you doing with this Kamdhenu? I think it's useful for me. But when this Jamadagni says, no, you should not take anything from a Brahmana, it's not good. However, this Kartavirya Arjuna, he took Kamadhenu by his power. And then we know that how Lord Parshurama, he went and killed Kartavirya Arjuna and brought back this Kamadhenu. And then, however, this Jamadagni, he said to to Parshuram that it's not a wise act, because we are Brahmana, we are supposed to excuse. So what is the difference between those and us if you don't excuse, right? And then Lord Parshurama went for austerity for some time, and then after that, we see in that how this son of Kartavirya Arjun, they came to kill Jamadagni, and they killed Jamadagni when he was in a meditation. They killed, they chopped off the head, and their mother, Jamadagni's wife, she shouted for uh, Parshuram, and Parshuram came, and then Parshuram actually went and killed all these, sons of Kartavirya, and he piled up these heads in the middle of the town, the village. So that's how Lord Parshurama's glories. Right? And then we also know about this coming of descendant of Mother Ganges into this material world. That also done by Bhagirathi. That also we discussed in Canto 9. This also happened in this day of Akshaya Tritiya. So we have discussed about the Shagara Maharaj. He has 60,000 son, and he was doing sacrifice, and the sacrifice horse was being taken away. That's by Lord Indra. We know it. And then though it was kept beside Kapila Dev, and where Kapil Dev was actually on the bank of Ganges, he was in meditation, and his sons, the 60,000 sons, they found that Kapil Dev's they found this source nearby Kapil Dev, and they thought that Kapil Dev has stolen it, and by their offense, they get burned into ashes. And to deliver them, many of the many of this lineage has passed, but they could not bring uh, the Ganges from the spiritual world uh, to deliver the what we say the forefathers. But Bhagirathi dedicatedly prayed to Mother Ganges, and Mother Ganges, she accepted to come down. However, she had to concern that the force in which she will come, it might pierce the whole earth. And also, she said that if I come and people will take bath in me, I'll get more seen of everyone. And then Bhagirath explained that no worries, I'll pray to Lord Shiva, and he pleased Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva agreed to hold the force of Mother Ganges in his head. And also on point of scene, Bhagirath told that when the devotees of Lord, they will take bath in you, you will get purified. So Mother Ganges is actually purifying to all of us by taking our sins, as well as is getting purified by the devotees. So both are there, right? And then also the point was in the message as well, that this is the beginning of Treta Yuga, Akshaya day. And also this was the day where Sudama had made to Krishna. We have also discussed about the Sudama and Krishna pastime in Canto 10. Sudama, again, Krishna doesn't need opulences to be pleased. Krishna was pleased just by some you know uh, rice flakes kind of thing. So Sudama's bought something, and he was hiding as well. But Krishna was pleased with that. And on the day, just Krishna has taken this morsel of rice, and he was giving opulent to Sudama, right? And then on this auspicious day, on the same auspicious day, the sun god has given Akshapatra to the Pandavas, and we know very well that Akshapatra was with Draupadi, and that Akshapatra was capable of giving food to any number of people who can come. And there is a nice pastime also associated with Akshapatra. However, the condition was that it should not be washed, and it should not that uh, Draupadi should not have taken her meal. So, but Duryodhana, knowing very well this thing that they got Akshapatra, he advised Durvasa Muni to go with his so many thousands of disciples uh, in the evening, maybe in the an afternoon, so that Draupadi could have taken her food, and he will not be able to please or welcome this all disciples of Durvasa Muni, and they will get cursed. That was the plan. But as Draupadi prayed to Krishna, Krishna came there, and just one grain was there in that Akshapatra. Krishna took it. Krishna had that one grain, and all these brahmanas or all these disciples of Durvasa Muni, they all got completely satisfied with their stomach, and they didn't came back. Actually, they went from there only. They went to take their bathing, and then come back, but still they went from there only. So, in what way we should go to Vishnu Maharaj now? Right? That's how Rakshapatra was given to the Pandavas by Sun God. And also, this is the day when it's been described as Srila Vyasadeva, he started composing Mahabharata. So, though Mahabharata was actually dictated by Vyasadeva and Lord Ganesha was writing it, so that these are the day of the starting of that. And it's also described that this Kubera received his position on this day, right? He's known as now the devatas of this wealth. So Kubera also received his position on this auspicious day. And in our Skon Sampradaya, in the Prabhupada movements, so this was the day when Prabhupada has actually established one kind of sanstha before establishing ISKCON, that is 1953 in Jhansi. It's called as League of Devotees. So there was a startup of this movement, but they didn't get, it was not succeed. But again, Prabhupada went to his west and he started in ISKCON. So the League of Devotee in 1953 was established by Prabhupada on this day. And also some say that Lord, Mother Durga Devi, she killed Mahishasura on this day as well. And a very auspicious Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra, and the making of this Ratha. So every year these three Rathas of Lord Jagannath, Baladeva, and Subhadramai, they all are created, make it every day new. And imagine interesting thing is that there is not a single nail, or nails means irons are being used in this chariot. It's all made of all only wood. So everything, these three chariots are made in wood. Nandi Gosha, Taladhwaja, and Darpadalana, I think the names of the chariot of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadramai. And a very, very auspicious, these are actually more related to Vaishnavas. In today's day, from Akshaya, there is a festival starts called as Chandan Yatra, and that goes for 21 days. And from today's till 21 days, Kṛṣṇa is being poured with Chandan. I'd like to talk a bit more on this in this topic. And then it went for 21 days. It goes for 21 days, and also uh, Tulsi Devi is also given water because it's very hot in India. So what happened in the Chandan Yatra is, let's talk a bit uh, sometime on that. So there was a great devotee, Srila Madhvendra Puri. And Madhvendra Puri is actually, if you see, uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master was Ishwara Puri, and Ishwara Puri's spiritual master is Madhvendra Puri. So we can see as Madhvendra Puri as uh, Param Guru or Param Gurudev of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Madhvendra Puri was a completely sannyasi, and he even don't beg for food. If anything comes to him, anyone gives him, he will eat. Otherwise, he is all satisfied. Right. So one day uh, he reached Brindavan, and there, and he was sitting on a tree, and it was late evening. Uh, a boy, a small child, and he came to him, and he offered him a milk, and he said, and Madhampuri said, "Who sent you?" He said, "No, in our village, no one remain hungry, so I came here to give you this milk, so you have it." And very nicely, Madhavendra Puri accepted this milk, and then he had this milk. And when he slept, he saw in the dream the same boy. So actually, he was Krishna himself. So Govindji. So he saw Madhavendra Puri saw that child, the young boy, and this young boy in the dream says, I am lying inside the bush. Or I've been covered from many years. So please call all these villagers and dig and take me out from this bush, and please do it for me. So when Madhavendra Puri got up in the next day, he actually told to all these villagers in Vrindavan, and they went there and they dig the place. So because in dream he saw everything, so he could remember, and then they all dig the place, and they could take out this vigraha of Govindji, and then they celebrated very nicely. They bathed him, they offered him prasad, everything went. After many days, Madhavendra Puri got another dream. So in that dream, he says, though I am taken out from this, from the bush, but still I am feeling so much hot in me. So I would request you to bring chandan and pour chandan on me, and that you will find chandan in Jagannath Puri. So so at the time there was no flight or maybe no train and others. So Madhavendra Puri started walking from Vrindavan towards Jagannath Puri. So from UP to Odisha, you can say, as started walking, and while he was coming, and he stayed there in a temple called as uh, the temple now is known by the past times. This temple is known as Kṛṣṇa Gopinath. So there, and the Madhavendra Puri had heard about that this there is a college in sweet rice, or college forgot the name, Amrit Keli. So that sweet rice called as Amrit Keli because it tastes like nectar, and he has heard earlier about this Amrit Keli. So while it was to be offered to Gopinath, the Gopinath, and he thought that, okay, if I somehow could get one cup of this Amrit Keli, and I would taste it, and when I go back, I'll cook uh, same Amrit Keli for my Govind Govindji. So as he was thinking, and he again thought, oh my goodness, what I've thought. It's not being offered yet, and I was thinking of eating that food. So it's a great offense. And then he went aside and lived on a behind the tree. When he went out of the village, interesting thing comes here now. So this Gopinath, so there are so many, I think it has been described, there are seven no, bowls of Khira or the Amrit Keli being offered to Krishna, to Gopinath over there. And then Gopinath, he actually took one of this uh, plate and he has hidden it. And then when the offer being taken away by this Brahmana, so uh, one plate was already there beside that. And then when the door was being shut, and then this the Brahmana, the priest, main priest, he got a dream that in the altar there is one bowl of Amrit Keli or Khira. Just there's a devotee called Madhavendra Puri. Go and give it to him. So the Brahman, the priest got a dream, and what? I personally taken out all these plates from there. How it would there? And then he went and opened this. He could see beside the lotus feet of Lord there was a Amrit Keli, one bowl of that. And then he was surprised and he searched who is that Madhavendra Puri, and he found a Madhavendra Puri, and this whole news was spread like anything. Wow, a great devotee of Lord has came, that because of that Lord has hidden one of this bowl for him. And from that day, the temple is well known as Kṛṣṇa Gopinath. And I'm blessed to have in this past 2 years I went there and I had this Amrita Keli over there. And it's again still being sold in the uh, uh, clay pot, and really tasty. And then the glories of Madhavendra Puri has been known because it's very near to Puri, Jagannath Puri. So this glories is being known to everyone, spread towards Puri as well. And they all knew that Madhavendra Puri has come here to get the chandan for Govindji, because chandan is again kind of a very difficult to get. So there, even after hearing these pastimes in Puri, there is not only just chandan being arranged, even the arrangement has been made to carry it till Vrindavana, right? And while coming back by taking chandan, this Madhavendra Puri again went stayed there in Kṛṣṇa Gopinath. And in the dream, Kṛṣṇa Gopinath came and says, I am satisfied by your service. You do not need to take this chandan from here to back to Vrindavan. I am the same. I am the same Govinda Gopinath, same. So you can put this chandan on me. And from that day, 21 days, this chandan is being placed on the whole body of Lord Sri Krishna. Right. So that's a very, very briefly one pastime of Madhavendra Puri is being as I described. And then also it is described that that Badrinath darshan opens on today, and it goes for no more 6 months, but again it opens on today's auspicious days. And there is a very, very uh, well-known temple. You might know it as well. That's in I think it's Andhra Pradesh. It's called as Simhachalam. So there we find a deity of a Bara Narsing, the both incarnation of Bara and Narsingha there. So Prahlad Maharaj actually he requested to get see this form because Hiranyakashipu and Hirnaksha. Hiranyakashipu was being killed by Narsingh Dev and Hirnaksha was killed by Bara Dev. So he wanted to see both the form of Bara and Narsingh Dev. So that temple is there. You will search in Google, and there the interesting thing happens is, as I said, in 21 days, Chandan is being applied from today, and there Chandan is taken out today in 1 day, in a year. What happens? So because Lord Nrsimhadev again is Ugra, so Chandan is being placed in his body every day, and not any day that they remove Chandan. Today they pasted Chandan, tomorrow they will paste Chandan on top of it. So for the whole 364 days, they put Chandan on Bara Nrsimhadev, and today is the day on Akshaya Tritiya day, they take out Chandan, and on today only day where we can see this whole deity of Bara Nrsimhadev in that real form. Otherwise, it's all covered with Chandan every day of the year of this, every day of the year, right? So that's how many people they go to this Simachalam to have this birth darshan of Bara Nrsimhadev on today's auspicious day, right? And the last but not the least, these special days like let's suppose like Janmashtami, Ram Navami, and others. These are very, very special days, and these are special days we can get access to spiritual mercy of Lord, right? Because these days, though every day Krishna blesses us, but these are a day where actually we can get some special mercy. So by taking a vow to do something, by taking a step ahead in our self realization and kind of things, right? So that's I'll end today here. Anyone, any question or any thought or any realizations on this, please you can share on. Okay, if not, then we'll stop here and we'll come back again on tomorrow. So thank you everyone. I think many of you already have given this feedback, and who have not posted, please do, so we can take it forward again ahead and discuss it again. How can we take it forward? Okay, thank you everyone. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, अक्षय तृतीया की। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण।